so thankfully Smackdown this week was nowhere near as god-awful as Monday Night Raw, although that would have taken considerable effort. But that's not to say that the show was perfect by any stretch of the imagination. Frankly, some might feel that Smackdown raised more questions than answers. And that's where I come in. It's time to ask the top 3 unanswered questions from last night's Smackdown. Let's count them off. Number 3. Was anybody really asking for another helping of Danielle Bryan and Big Cass? I can't possibly imagine that somewhere out there's a single person who is sitting at home waiting for Smackdown to start who is thinking to themselves, oh boy, I hope tonight's the night I finally get to see one of the most dynamic and beloved performers of a generation go up against large, lumbering oaf who wrestles like a child playing a video game, only he doesn't know the combinations to the finishing moves and just mashes buttons at random. Again. And considering Bryan kicked Cass's ass for about 5 solid minutes without breaking a sweat, who on earth did any of that benefit? Number 2. Was that really the best they could do for the debut of Andrade Cien Almas? He's a former NXT champion who was one half of the first 5-star match your company has seen in almost 6 years, and the best you can do for his main roster introduction is a jobber that not even the locals recognize? If you're going to have him squash someone, couldn't it at least be someone that the viewing audience would know? Can the WWE not afford a plane ticket for Ty Dillinger, who by the way would have been perfect for this match? It seems like a waste of time to have him debut in a meaningless match that gives him zero forward momentum. Number 1. What the hell has happened to the women's division? Between the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania, the WWE women's division had some of the best booking and highly anticipated matches on the card. Okay, sure, there was a heavy dependency on a 6-woman tag match that got old, but for the most part, the women were over. There were some interesting storylines on both shows, and the stink of the Diva era and its god-awful Butterfly Brats accessory title belt seemed to have finally been purged. Here in the post-Mania world, we're now at the point where no one in creative seems to care about the women's division. Not at all. The SmackDown Women's Champion is a cardboard cutout caricature of a TV show that reached the zenith of its popularity in 2011. Naomi's main role on TV since winning the first ever WrestleMania Women's Battle Royal / Giant Reproductive System trophy has been to come out and dance like a tired stripper to distract the Bludgeon Brothers so her husband didn't get his head smashed with a comically large hammer. The Iconics have been putting on bad stand-up comedy, and Asuka, one of the most dominant superstars of the past decade, has been relegated to tag team matches. And even then, she only wins half of them. Then she gets a title shot. Because reasons? I get that the WWE wants the women to be viewed as being equal in the eyes of management as the men, but does that also have to include the shitty booking of haphazard feuds with no build, and matches that have zero motivation and even less logic in how they end? Bonus question. How about instead of lowering the booking quality of the women down to the level of the fellas, they raise the bar of the men's booking to where the women's division was a few months ago? So that way you can have some actual entertainment with your sports entertainment.